Same thing, 1 drop of water on the toe box and rub. Turning frequently. Speed. Speed not too heavy. I don't know if you can see what it's doing. The shine is starting to come around. You can definitely still see swirling and haze on here, okay? It's nowhere near ready. But it's coming around. This is what you call a spit shine. I'm going to go back to the first one. And again, I'm not pushing very hard, okay? But I'm trying to generate more speed, okay? Sometimes you turn the shoe a different way, you get a little better angle on it. And now when I'm doing this, I may do it like this, and then I may come down, you know, with a back part of the rag I haven't used before, okay? Because there'll be less wax on that. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'll change my finger positioning. It's more of a feel thing, okay? Now this is starting to come around. That's 1 layer. Okay? I hope this shows up in the video. Okay? That's 1 layer done. And it's gonna fill all the pores. It's gonna build up this clear coat on top of the toe. I hope you can see that. And I can't like really see my face in the reflection, but it's starting to come around, okay? So just keep going, another drop of water. Okay, and what I'm probably gonna do here is I'm probably gonna break the video and give these time to dry for a few minutes and let the wax set up, okay? So let me see if I can get this one to match that other one. It's still got swirls in it. It is getting shinier. Okay. So that's 1 round of clear done on both shoes. And they do not look too shabby. Okay, I'll break the video. I'll come back. I'm going to do that again. A few minutes have passed. I think it's ready again. Now this time, I'm going to put very little. There's already some wax on the rag. I'm not adding much more. I like to always do the left shoe first. Just gives me some kind of order. See, so just that 1 swipe, I guess, is enough to cover the whole toe. Right? I'll let that set. Just a little bit of wax. And I'm going to get this other toe covered. And again, so this is round 2 of the spit shine. And again, we want to build up layer after layer after layer of clear, okay? And it is winter here, by the way, in you know, northeastern United States, and the air is pretty dry, so stuff tends to dry out pretty fast in this weather. Again, drop of water, you see it there, boop, and rub. Remember, speed more than pressure, not pushing very hard at all. And I'm watching it, I'm looking at the surface, you can see the swirls. When you feel it drag down, you add some more water. When you do this right, you'll start to see the swirls disappear and a really high shine start to generate, okay? And it's almost there, it's getting there. Right, it's getting there. I'm going to go back in the middle of my finger a little more where there's, you know, not as much wax. That's not bad. It's getting there. And you'll keep seeing spots that, you know, need it more than other spots. And I think this is more of an art than a science, you know? Look at that. You can start to see a good reflection. Okay? Okay, so I just cut the camera and I put a 3rd coat on. If you can see it, it is hazy, okay? So 3rd coat, same thing, nothing special here, no magic, just effort. Why is a Ferrari or a Lamborghini beautiful? It's not because it costs, you know, $300,000, $400,000 or whatever. It's because you're seeing effort. Effort is attractive. And that's what you're doing here. And you see how fast that developed? Almost all the swirling is gone, and then only took just a few strokes, okay? Because I'm using less and less wax each time, pretty much. And I could go crazy with this and put a couple more on, but for what this shoe is, I think after this, I'm going to consider it done. Okay. And do you see that? Beautiful. Okay, now I can see my face. I don't know if I could read a watch on it. Not quite. Can't really read the time on the watch, but that is not bad. Okay, that's called a spit shine. Now we're still not done with the shoe yet, okay? I'll finish up the other toe cap, and the next step we're going to come do is actually dress the edges of the heels and the soles. Okay, next stage, what we're going to do, and I'll start with the worst right shoe, is try and take care of that, okay? And you see the tip of the toe there now. See how nice and shiny the toe box looks, the toe cap, and the edge looks like crap. You know, it's like washing your car and having dirty tires, okay? So I'm using the, in this case, medium brown color. This is Phoebing's leather dye. I'm using it as an edge dressing. Maybe some people say that's wrong to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. Anyway, I'll show you what this is really meant for. And you don't need much of it at all. It comes with a little cotton dauber here, and you got to be careful. This stuff, whenever it touches, it will stain your pants, you know, whatever. So you see this piece of leather here. This is, you know, basically a piece of, you know, tanned leather, I guess. And this is really what it's meant for, okay? And that color will not rub off. You have to basically sand it off, okay? So you can see you can use it on the edges too. So that's what this stuff does. And go ahead, keep that safely out of the way. And I'm just going to use what's left on this dauber. I'm not going to add more. And I'm going to be very careful not to get it on the rest of the shoe. Okay. And especially here in the waist. All right, and see there's a nick there. I want to cover that nick up. Get it all the way around all the edges, especially this outside edge here. The outer sides of the shoe are going to take more of a beating. Okay. And I'm going to let that dry. Oh, you see this? It already needs a second coat, I'd say, right here on that bare spot. And again, don't hit the upper of the shoe itself, okay? It dries very quickly. I think it's an alcohol-based. And look at that. Okay, we're going to polish that up after it dries. I'm going to stop the video. I'll do the other shoe, and I'll be right back. Okay, and now that the edge dressing, the leather dye, has had time to dry, I don't know how much of this shows up in the video. The edge of the heel now, do you see it's all one color, right? And by the way, this is one of the huge advantages of having a stacked leather constructed heel, okay? You see the first layer is actual leather, and then there's a layer of rubber. Number one advantage, you can actually change off that layer of rubber when it wears out, okay? Extending the life of the heel. And number two, when the color comes off, usually if it's a rubber molded shoe, they just kind of either paint on or you know, I don't know how they do it, but they, you know, put on color that looks like leather, and when you scratch it, it's done. You know, this can be refinished, sanded, you know, dyed like I just did, but we're gonna make this look really nice. I have the same dark brown shoe polish, the same rag I used to polish the shoe, right? And I'm gonna get a good amount on there. And in this case, I'm just gonna not so much make circles, but just kind of go side to side, I guess, because that's the way the grain runs. Again, be liberal with it. Okay. And we're polishing the edge of the heel, believe it or not. Get that in there, load it up. Okay, we're gonna load that up. And when I do that, I don't necessarily go around the rest of the edge of the sole, okay? I'll cut the video, I'll do the other shoe, then I'll come back and polish it with a horsehair brush. Okay, and now that the wax has had a couple minutes to set up, horsehair brush on the heel, just like we did with you know, with the upper. Look at that. Okay, now what we have here, you can see that. Now it looks beautiful. You see, you can see the different layers of leather. It is, in life, you can tell it's brown and not black, right? But now it's one color, it's even color, and it's got shine to it. Beautiful, okay? All right. Let me finish up the other shoe, then I'll try and compare before we started to the finished product. All right, and there is the finished product. And I could go more on that, but I'm going to stop. This is a derby, you know, the open flaps here. This is not as formal of a style of shoe, okay? And also the shinier you get the toe caps, the harder it is to keep that shine up, so I'm not going to go crazy with that. And look, you can still see a light colored spot right there. Okay, I don't know if it shows up in the video very well, but it's much, much better than it was before. You see here, the right one has definitely got wear on it. And this person in particular, if you can you see right there? So it's hard to see, but, all right, and look how nice the heels look. All polished out. That is a proper shoe shine. One quick note, as I was editing this video, I realized I made an error. I wound up changing my mind. I did not use the Sapphire Renault Matte. If you picked that up, congratulations, you're sharp. But I didn't wind up using it. The reason was because I felt like there wasn't enough built up polish or residue to need to, you know, strip that off. So anyway, but if these were an old pair of shoes, you know, maybe 10, 20-year-old shoes and had a lot of built up polish, that's, you know, perfect time to use the Sapphire Renault Matte.